Welcome to a COCO comparison. We'll be taking a look at the difference in working with a typical coconut you'll find in the tropics versus this beauty, Coco Lima, as in Lima, Peru. Now that's the name the farmer gave. As of yet, I don't have the scientific name for either. However, this visual should perhaps give those a clue to find out more. And if I find out those names, I'll include them in the description below. And I'm just going to show what it's like to work with opening them up, how their water and meat yield compare. I prefer a stainless steel butcher knife over machetes because it gives me a little bit more accuracy, and I just find it faster and fun. I love opening coconuts. As you can see, the Lima takes quite a bit more time, much thicker husk, yet the reward is amazing. It's just pretty much almost too much for one person to consume. And you can see here the size difference. On the left, those cost about 50 cents. The Coco Limas are about 85 cents. So much more value, although much more rare. And a typical coconut like this usually runs actually about a pint. That's a bit less than a typical cocoa. And these Limas, so each of these is about a pint glass, and I have yielded 3 pint glasses before. As you'll see, this one yields about 2. And the water's not as sweet, yet it's still very delicious to me. Definitely meant for more than one person. Opening them is fairly straightforward. Now this may look a bit hasty, but I, at this point, am very practiced. I do this every day. Always recommend a lot of attention and awareness in the opening process because it is quite easy to cut oneself. And that's again why I like the butcher's knife. It's just the cutting area is much smaller than a long machete. And sometimes it's best for these Limas to cut the husk on both sides to go at it from multiple angles. Otherwise, it's kind of impossible to get in there. And when I examined the bottom here, it initially looked like it was a bit rotten, but I realized that's just the phase of the queen's butter coming in, which if you've never seen the queen's butter, you're in for a treat. It's basically this spongy, yellow half hemisphere where the vine reaches into the coconut that sometimes tastes very buttery, and it's just before the coconut's about to sprout. So as you can see, just a mammoth quantity of coconut meat and a much thicker texture. Of course, the thickness will always depend on the age of your coconut, which is one of the many miracles of the cocoa. It's got the textures anywhere from soft to firm to crunchy to very fatty. Just my favorite fruit that I continue to learn from. And this is a way to open safely. You just make sure the point is securely between your hands and the shell. And just using both hands to nudge it out gently. I mainly want to drop this video because I think the world would be a better place with more coconuts. I think it's one of the many examples that scarcity is something engineered. And if you think such a thing is impossible or improbable, check out The Manufacturing of Consent by Edward Bernays. You will be amazed what we can be made to believe. And that's a COCO comparison.